You know that one brilliant business idea? The one that just keeps popping into your head? That little voice telling you you're onto something big? Well, in the next 5 minutes, we're going to break down the very first steps to turn that idea from a dream into a real, actual business.
So let me just ask you straight up. क्या आपके पास एक जबरदस्त business idea है? My guess is you do. It's that idea that you can't stop thinking about, the one you know could really change things. Not just for you, but for your future customers too.
But this is where so many people get stuck. You've got the amazing idea, but the path forward just looks foggy, right? It can feel totally overwhelming. That feeling of not knowing where to even begin, that's exactly what we're going to clear up right now. So, the very first step? It's all about a shift in how you think. See, being an entrepreneur today isn't just about making a product. It's more like being a detective. Your job is to find a real problem people are facing, and then you create the perfect solution for it. And guess what? Your number one clue is always the customer. A great idea isn't enough. You need a solid plan. Now, I know this slide might look like a wall of text, but don't worry. If you boil it all down, everything here falls into just two main buckets. First, understanding your customers, and second, understanding your money. If you can get a handle on those two things, you are well on your way. So let's start with the customers. The word marketing, it can sound like this big, complicated, expensive thing, right? But let's just forget all that. At its core, marketing is just storytelling. It's about starting a conversation with the right people to tell them how you can make their lives a little bit better.
So how do you actually start that conversation? It's a simple 3-step plan. Let's imagine you're selling beautiful traditional Pakistani clothing. Step 1, who's your target? It's not everyone. It's people getting ready for big events like Eid or a wedding. Step 2, where do you find them? Well, where do they hang out? Probably scrolling Instagram and Facebook, so that's where you go. And step 3, what's your message? You're not just saying, buy my clothes. You're saying, find the perfect outfit for your most special day. Huge difference, right?
And this brings us to what might be the single biggest secret in all of business. The most successful companies, they're not just selling stuff, they're selling solutions. They take the time to deeply understand what their customers actually need, and then they build something that helps. That is the real engine of growth.
इसका मतलब ये है कि आपको ये समझना है कि आपके कस्टमर्स असल में चाहते क्या हैं. You have to get inside their world, figure out what they're really looking for. When you do that and you create something that perfectly fits that need, you stop being just a seller. You become a problem solver they trust. That's how you build real loyalty.
Here's a perfect real-world example of this in action. Check out this startup from Lahore. They aren't wasting a ton of money on TV ads trying to reach everybody. Nope, they know their ideal customer. Someone who loves unique, handmade jewelry is probably on Instagram. So what do? They go right there with beautiful pictures of their products. It's smart, it's focused, and it works. Okay, time for a quick checkpoint. Let's go back to our clothing business. If you're selling those traditional outfits online, who is your absolute best target market? Is it A, all online shoppers, B, people getting ready for Eid or weddings, or C, international fashion bloggers? If you said B, you nailed it. That's the laser focus that makes a business thrive. All right, so you found your customers, you're talking to them. Now for the really exciting part. Let's talk money. It all begins with making that very first rupee. And the first word you absolutely need to know is revenue. Just think of it as the lifeline of your entire business. Revenue is super simple. It's the total amount of money that comes into your business from everything you sell before you take out any of your expenses. So if you sell 100 school bags for 500 rupees each, you just multiply those two numbers and boom, your revenue is 50,000 rupees. That's your top line. But, and this is a really big but, revenue is only half the story. Just because money is coming in doesn't automatically mean you're making money. To know if your business is actually healthy, you have to track your costs. That's all the money going out. And costs are literally everything you spend money on to keep the lights on. The material for the bags, the rent for your workshop, paying your team, running ads, all of it. In our little example, let's say all of that adds up to 20,000 rupees. This number is just as important as your revenue.
And right here, this is where the magic happens. You take your revenue, you subtract your costs, and whatever is left over, that's your profit. That 30,000 rupees, ये आपका असल मुनाफा है. This is the real scoreboard. This is the money you have truly earned. Now let's see how this works for a real business. A bakery in Rawalpindi isn't just hoping for the best. They plan ahead. They make a budget. They know their fixed costs for things like rent, ingredients, and salaries are going to be around 750,000 rupees. Planning like this is what keeps a business not just alive, but actually profitable.
So you're making a profit. That is awesome. But a smart entrepreneur doesn't just take that money and go home. No, they put that money back to work. Now we're going to talk about how you use money to make even more money. This is how you really start to grow.
When it comes to growth, you basically have two main options. On one side, you can invest your own profits. That means using your own money to buy better equipment, more inventory, or ramp up your marketing. On the other side, you can take out a loan, which gives you a big chunk of cash up front, but you gotta pay it back with interest. Both are totally valid ways to grow, and a lot of businesses actually use a mix of both.
So there you have it, the basic roadmap from an idea in your head to real money in the bank. You now know the fundamentals of finding your people and managing your finances, so the theory part is over. The only question left is, what is the very first, smallest step that you are going to take today to make your idea happen? Thanks for watching.